An American teacher has been released from a Russian prison after serving 3 years of his 14-year sentence. What negotiations took place leading up to this release? Let me explain. Marc Fogel is an American history teacher from Pennsylvania who taught history courses at international schools to children of U.S. diplomats. Among other countries, his work brought him to Moscow, Russia, where he had taught since 2012. Upon returning from vacation on August 14, 2021, Fogel was detained for a cannabis charge which he claimed was medical, using it for chronic back pain. Fogel was detained and set to serve a 14-year sentence in a Russian prison. His case compared to WNBA All-Star Brittany Griner, detained in Russia in 2022 for cannabis oil charges, who was released within a year. The details of the release negotiations are not 100% clear, as Trump expressed with no further detail that another prisoner would soon be released. However, the Trump administration says that these negotiations between the US and Russia are aiming to end the war in Ukraine. Advisors negotiated an exchange that serves as a show of good faith from the Russians and a sign we are moving in the right direction to end the brutal and terrible war in Ukraine, says United States National Security Advisor Mike Waltz in a statement posted on the White House website. It was speculated that negotiations were in the works when United States Special Envoy to the Middle East and longtime friend to President Steve Witkoff alerted online flight trackers of a trip to Moscow on his private jet early on Tuesday, February 11th. Fogel, upon touching down in the United States later on February 11th, made a statement at a briefing in the diplomatic reception room.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now. And I want you to know that I am not a hero in this at all. And President Trump is a hero.
President Trump, when talking about Fogel's release, also mentions the Biden administration, saying,
"We did it in 2.5 weeks. He had 4 years to do it. He should have had Mark out a lot earlier. It's a shame. It's a shame.
It was very...
Should have never had the war to start off with."
Fogel's release was part of an exchange for a Russian citizen held in detention by the U.S. When asked about the identity of the prisoner, Dmitry Peskov, press secretary for the Russian president, reacted, stating that their identity would be revealed when they were back in Russia, and that their arrival would happen in the days to come. Trump denounced the Biden administration for only declaring Fogel's detention wrongful in December 2024, 3 years into his sentence. However, the Biden administration said they had actively been working to get Fogel back, per White House National Security Council Coordinator Admiral John Kirby in August 2024, the Russians just weren't willing to throw him into the mix, and we tried many different times. I mean, from a very, very early stage here, when we knew we had to work on a new deal, we included Mr. Fogel. Regrettably, they just weren't biting at it. Zelensky earlier in the week stated Donald Trump's plan for a settlement in Ukraine must not only stop the war, but also ensure that there can no longer be any more Russian aggression. Just after the return of Marc Fogel, attacks on Ukraine from Russia with ballistic missiles and drones killed 1 person and injured 4. Zelensky posted on his X account, "The Russian terror against Ukraine will not stop on its own. Putin is not preparing for peace."